I have a vision for this company. Around, I don't know, 5 in the morning or so, I got stuck on the name, and just let you know. Nope, we're going to call it Moneyberg. They thought I was insane. Derek, please don't do this. None of the mainstream media can talk about what you're going to do. If you care what your mommy thinks, or the neighbor kid that you grew up with, or your roommate from college, if you're concerned about their opinion, if they could do it, they would.
You know what's funny? Now they're gonna tell you, but Derek, it's easy for you. It's so easy for you because now you made almost $40 million in this business. But Derek, you got 4 million followers on Instagram. They don't remember that you had none.
I had 0 followers.
You had $0. You know, it's the same thing with me. People tell me all the time, oh, it's so easy to be fit. That's what you do for a living. I go, I've been retired for 2 years, motherfucker, and I'm still killing every day. Like.
What's up, guys? Claudio Gadelha here, former UFC fighter. I made my first $1 million at the age of 25 and being smart with my money. After fighting, I've been making money from stocks, real estate, and being an entrepreneur. Derek has been helping me along the way. He didn't have an easy childhood. He grew up here in Chicago.
I didn't grow up with everything handed to me either. Both of us had to go earn the things that we wanted in life. And the other thing is, some people, they really like their excuses. And they would use the excuses that I'd have or the excuses that she had, and they would just stay down there with the mediocres, with the people not too inspired to live the best possible life. But I want to live the best life that I could live, and Claudia did too. And for those of you that are serious about having the best in life instead of the mediocre, I mean, you could follow the path I did, maybe. I spent 9 years in universities. I worked since I was 7. I don't think you're going to catch up in 35 years of hard work and 9 years of university to get from where I was to where I am. Or you could join us on a webinar. We could share a lot of things that I learned from my life experiences and my academic education, and real life, most importantly, the things that made me tens of millions of dollars. I made over $10 million in the stock market, made over $10 million in real estate, made tens of millions of dollars in entrepreneurship as well. And Claudia is learning to do the same. She's already a multimillionaire, but we're not done. We're just keep going and do a little bit better every day.
Like you said, I asked Derek to come here and help you to do better, to get out of the life you are right now and be at the top like we are.
If you're doing well already, but you could do even better, I'm excited to meet you. I'm excited to talk with Claudia and see how we can help you achieve and exceed your current goals.
Click that link.
Click it now.
When I started this business, I was, 40. I had my fancy degree from, the U Chicago that says I'm supposed to be well qualified to be an executive in somebody else's company or something, And I hadn't had a job since I was 19. And I had plenty of business experience in various areas, but most of that money came from most of that money came from real estate or stock market. Plenty of money from entrepreneurship, but I made more money in those other areas. And on my 40th birthday, I was in Toronto, and I don't take a whole lot of time off for any sort of leisure or anything, but I thought, well, let's go. We had some business brainstorming to do, but we'll get a big SUV, and we'll go hang out at Niagara Falls a bit, and we can take care of our business brainstorming. We'll drive over there, drive back, have a couple of moments of leisure, but we're going to have a business talk anyway. We could do that in a hotel room. We could also do that in an SUV and go check out Niagara Falls for the day. So we did. And all day we're, trying to brainstorm a name. I have a vision for this company. And we're trying to, what is the right name for that? And they want to say, blah, blah, blah partners, or this or that finance, or blah, blah capital. And my brain says, bleh. And it sounds like, some East Coast, stuffy financial services type something. And I'm just, no. And we get back from the day. We spent an hour at Niagara Falls or something like that. And then near there's a mini golf place, and they never get me to do anything fun. So they halfway try to coerce me into we'll go play mini golf on my birthday. I'm like, meh. So we go, and then I find out that Ryan's actually an excellent golfer, and he's delighted to beat everybody's ass at mini golf, mercilessly. I'm like, all right, thanks for the happy birthday. So I knew I shouldn't have stopped to play mini golf. So he beat the rest of us badly, and then we got back in the vehicle and talked more about our project. And I stayed up late with the guys thinking about, what's the right name for that? And I don't know, maybe there's 4 of us sitting around, and around, 5 in the morning or so, I got stuck on the name. I'm just like, nope, we're going to call it Moneyberg. And they thought I was insane. And that makes a lot of sense. They thought I was insane. There's Derek, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You're making it prohibitive to be, none of the mainstream media can talk about what you're going to do. So they get past that argument, but they're just like, dude, like nobody's going to put this. You can't be on television. You can't be in any mainstream publications. And, people can't tell their friends and family about, their coach Moneyberg, and so on and so on. And I thought about it for a little bit more, and then I was convinced. I'm like, yep, Moneyberg. And I thought about that because I think in any marketing communication, starting a new venture, the death of most people is just being ignored. That nobody knows who you are, nobody cares who you are, and nor should they. And most people will get frustrated in that period of time where they're just being ignored and passed over, and they'll give up somewhere in that period and go accept their job as a Denny's manager or whatever might be next in their career path. And if you're tough enough and tenacious enough to get past that, where people start to pay attention to you, then you have a different problem where you're not an industry leader yet. You have a different problem that's, some of you are painfully aware of. You're not yet in the, number 1, number 2 slot that you want to be in, but you have some traction and some awareness, and things are kind of going good. And that's a place that you're going to be mercilessly made fun of. So first you get ignored, and then you get made fun of. And that's just part of the process. All right? And then, later on, if you get past that part, now a lot of people will give up there because a lot of people think that things are getting worse. Things are actually getting better, that nobody knew who you were before. So at least now they know who you are, and people are paying attention to you. And if you can get past that part, and you can deliver results consistently, well, then you can just be a household name, and people will say Moneyberg with a straight face, like it's normal. And they do. And, I thought to myself, like, well, this just helps me skip a whole lot of that boring stuff that we get to, be ignored for a much shorter period of time, and fast forward to the part where I just get to be publicly mocked and made fun of. And, soon enough, I know how to turn that around. I know how to deliver results consistently, and I feel very confident about that. Now, imagine what your classmates think. You went to the number 1 school for whatever it is you were doing. Imagine what your classmates think about something like this. Do you think they're saying supportive things to themselves or each other? Now, I was graduated from school by then, but do you think that they would say supportive things, or they just think what is wrong with him? Do you think your professors, your Nobel Prize winning professors, are thinking supportive things about something like? Yeah. Okay. So, some people think that that's not. You don't do that unless you're pretty damn confident about yourself. If you don't have, if you're not pretty damn confident about your abilities, you probably shouldn't do something like that. But I was, and I did, and just recently they put me on the NASDAQ. To be on NASDAQ, what's the most prestigious brand name up here of all of these? Forbes, Inc., MarketWatch, LA Times, USA Today, Playboy, Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, Bloomberg. Is there anything more prestigious than NASDAQ? Is Bloomberg or Forbes even more prestigious than NASDAQ?
Some people might argue, but I think NASDAQ's better.
I think it is too.
Well, I think the fact that you have Jerusalem Times on there also, and your name is Moneyberg, like that just kind of says that like they've gotten over that.
And thank you for that. You knew you made it when you're in the Jewish newspapers. When you called yourself Moneyberger and you're in the most prestigious Jewish newspapers, you did it. If you care what your mommy thinks or the neighbor kid that you grew up with or your roommate from college or whatever, if you're concerned about their opinion, I mean, bro, if they could do that, they'd go do it. If they could do it, they would. So I took that crazy name, and in 33 months, from the first dollar we ever made, we were at $25 million in revenue in 33 months. And now that's 30-some million dollars, and it doesn't matter. Again, I don't get my next ClickFunnels plaque till we get to 50 million. So, early next year I'll be at 50 million, and I'll get my next little ClickFunnels plaque that says 50 million instead of 25 million. So now it's just 30-something, mid-30s at the moment, I would think. Is anybody laughing about that? If you think the name Moneyberg is funny, I think it's funny too, by the way. But that's a decent chunk of money, huh? So, you can't be concerned what somebody else thinks about you or what... if you do anything, you're going to have haters. If you do anything, people are going to talk shit about you. First, it's your friends and family are going to doubt you. And then after you do anything in the public, then what happens when, whoever it is, when even the greatest champions, after a hell of a run, like the best runs in history, when they then lose a fight, some piece of shit out there is like, you suck.
You're terrible. Why are you doing this? Like the guy who was a champion for 10 years. He loses one fight, and there are people out there that are gonna hate on that.
You just can't be concerned. If you're concerned about somebody else's opinion of what you're doing, entrepreneurship is probably not for you. And it's psychologically frustrating. In most cases, the odds are against you in any particular project. And I just knew that I could do what I wanted to do. And so Derek, how did you know that? It was like, because I had 40 years of tormenting myself with all sorts of other things. And I don't give a what somebody thinks. I don't give a what a stranger thinks about me. I don't think about them at all. I'm very unconcerned.
You know what's funny? Now they're gonna tell you, but Derek, it's easy for you. It's so easy for you because now you made almost $40 million in this business. But Derek, you got 4 million followers on Instagram. They don't remember that you had none.
I had 0 followers.
You had $0. It's the same thing with me. People tell me all the time, oh, it's so easy to be fit. When that's your life. That's what you do for a living. I've been retired for 2 years, and I'm still killing every day. Like, shut up, But that's how people are. They're gonna put you down. They want to bring you to the level where they are, so they feel a little better about themselves. They're over there on the couch feeling terrible, and they see somebody doing amazing, and they're gonna try to bring you down. They're gonna try to hate on you, to put you on the level they are. But you gotta be strong and don't let that happen,